So this is a response video to Michael's video, NorVegan's video, that he put out June 1st. Harley was, no two ways around it, dishonest. You know, I had been at the Q&A the following morning after watching Hannah's video, and Harley had said, plain as day, Hannah put out a video saying that I raped her. And I'm like, well, that's simply not the truth. A lot of people started to take that as the truth and talk about it as if it were the truth. And that's not what Hannah did. And I found a lot of other things about the public reaction to that whole video and that whole hoopla disturbing. So I put out a video talking about the public reaction. It was in no way slanderous of Freely or Harley. I thought any reasonable people would later watch it and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, these things are true. How could I possibly forget that Harley is not a reasonable person? So I guess that was probably the following day after Harley's lies, and or maybe 2 days later, I stopped going to the Q&A. Harley was just straight up telling lies and making jokes about the whole situation when it really was a serious situation. And the problem is not so much that Harley is shitty, it's that everyone was laughing about it. I didn't think it was funny. So I spoke about it, and I opened up my Facebook, and me, with my 2,000 subscribers, has 76, I'm gonna say, 86 maybe, 67 messages from him. Firing, 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 firing. I start typing back, more. I basically at that point was like, this guy's pretty psycho. So I'm just going to diffuse the situation at this point. I think I said something like, I'll take the video down. I didn't attack you in any way. Don't worry about it. Like, let's not talk about it any further. I was just like alarmed and uncomfortable by the erratic, intense mania he went into. And it was insane. Like, so many messages. Hannah saying I raped her, this, that, and the other thing. We did this together. We did that. Hannah has implants. What? Like, where the fuck did that come from? Just like right out of left field. I'll include some screen caps of the combo. And you know, I did, like, in this situation, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I sort of like backed down. I was like, I can't deal with this. This is too much. I put the video on private. This is what happened. This is my first like significant in-person experience with Harley. She and I are sitting down, we're drinking our smoothies, Harley comes up the hill. I think the festival is over at this point, so he's only with like 7 other people or something. Comes up the hill, they're like standing over in another area talking. He's seen me, I know he's seen me. My friend and I are sitting there, and the moment that she and I stand up to go get our bikes and leave, we physically separate from each other to walk, you know, 200 feet apart to get our 2 bikes. The moment he sees me alone, he closes in on me. And he comes right over, and I was like, I'm not interested in discussing with you, Harley, because at this point I'm like, this guy's a freaking psycho. You know, things were exposing themselves to me over the festival, over the time that I was there, that were making me really uncomfortable, and like the more information I found, the more like sketched out I felt about him as a person. So that's what happened that day. I saw something in his eyes on the top of that mountain, and I was like, there, that's your true colors. And it's like the person that you see in some of these like hyper aggressive videos that have come out. I was just done. I didn't want him in my life anymore. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to speak to it anymore because I didn't feel safe in Chiang Mai were I to do such a thing. And so then I see him in the mall a couple days later, and I shit you not, it is a different person, and that freaked me out even more. He came up to me, all charming charisma. Like, I've never found him attractive at all by any stretch of the imagination, so do not mistake that for that. But he came over, and he was all like smiley, and that person that he crafts himself to appear as that seems likable when you deal with him in person.
They don't have their own personality. There is nothing there. It's all surface, right? So they're just putting on these different masks to figure out what they need to do, how they need to manipulate.
I was just like, he came up to me, he's like, hey, how are you? Like, did you want to talk about that video yet? And I was like, no, I still don't want to talk about it, Harley. Then he basically was just like, okay, bye, and like walked away. And I was like, ooh. I don't really care if Harley slanders me at this point. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. You really shouldn't believe it if you are continuing to believe it. That's all I'm here to say. Based on my personal experience with him, based on the experience of many people I know who have stopped believing in him, but don't want to speak about it in public forum because they have too much to lose, and I understand that.
Narcissists are kind of these actors in this game of life, right? And they have all these different masks that they put on and take off. But if you look at their actions don't seem to align with their beliefs. And maybe their actions do align with their beliefs until they're caught. If you pay close attention, and that's another thing with a narcissist, is their actions and their words don't match up for any length of time. It's once you find out who they really are, which is that behavior, those like, you know, huge behaviors that you uncover, that's who they really are. The rest of the time you're just seeing the mask.